Alright, a very important match. Just after Blazing Magi fell to Loki Swords, this is the chance for No Diff Unks to keep their lead on Loki Swords. If they win this, there will be a match ahead of Loki Swords still. If they lose, though, they'll be tied. And then that last match will really matter. But if No Diff Unks can upset Rush Hour here, they will hold the sole possession of that second spot, and map differential will matter, and Loki Swords will have to beat No Defunks in a very convincing fashion in their last game to take that seeding back. However, they can really almost secure themselves the slot if they 3-0 Rush Hour right here. So we will see. We will see. I believe if they 3-0 Rush Hour, which huge monumental task to overcome right there. If they do that, then Loki Swords will probably have to 3-0 this squad in order to get second. So, Cassidy, good start so far though. That's 2 picks in the way of Rush Hour, or not Rush Hour, in the way of No Defunks. Great start for the squad as they're up 4-0 against Rush Hour. And this is what you need to see if you're a No Defunks fan. You got to give yourself that second seed. I believe Rush Hour's already secured in their number 1 seeding, so you're not going to pass them. However, you might just knock Loki Swords out if you win convincingly enough against this Rush Hour squad. Last time I believe you got 3-0'd by them. But right now, you are popping off on this deathmatch map. Ryan's going to kill himself for that kill. Actually, Cassidy got credit for it, so that's just a trade. So both teams will go up a little bit for that. Widowmaker winning the duel versus Soldier. Outside there. Cassidy getting jumped on by this Ryan. He's actually winning that fight. Ryan did get out with his life, though. Cassidy going to come help as Arissa kills off the... Oh, my word. What a crazy matchup we have so far. Here comes the Ryan. The pin does go a little haywire. Doesn't quite get anything. Ryan's very low on the side. Might just... Oh, okay. 11-7. Rush Hour getting back into this one. They're only 3 kills down now. Widowmaker's about to get picked off, most likely, so this is going to be about a 2-point difference. Here comes the pin, and it's good. 2-point difference here. Here comes Arissa onto this Baptiste. Can she get the kill? No, she does not. In fact, yet. Okay, now she's trade. So now it is a 1-point lead for No Diff Unks. Could very quickly change into a tie game here, though, if this Arissa falls. She does get the health pack. Her Widowmaker's here now. Uh-oh. Her Widowmaker goes down, and now all of a sudden Rush Hour have the lead as they get both those picks. Cassidy gonna fall too, and the lead just extends for Rush Hour. Proving why they are... still, as a matter of fact, the best team and get good. Maintaining this lead on No Diff Unks. No Diff Unks really vying for their playoff spot, though. Cassidy picks off the BAP. He is on this Soldier. A huge ult by Arissa. Can she... She does get the tire. The tire's gone. And the Junkrat. Oh, my word. What is happening? Okay, they're tied at 16. I'm losing my mind a little bit here, as this is a tie game. Oh, Arissa jabs the BAP. They're up 2 now. Arissa popping off here a little bit. Putting in some serious work. Widowmaker's going to get pinned, though. So back to a 1-point lead here for No Diff Unks. Rush Hour putting in some solid work. Ryan's going to pin himself off the map. He does get Arissa, though. So they both will lose points. So now they're tied again at 17-17. The Cassidy is going to fall over Widowmaker. Dueling. Oh, she does go down. So now Rush Hour holds a lead again. 2-point lead. In this really back and forth map so far on Paris. Cassidy's going to be the first to fall. Arissa's going to get pinned way deep into the back. She's going to go down. And now the lead is extended for Rush Hour. They are running this back. Widowmaker's probably going to die here. She's all alone. Not a great spot to be in if you are Widow. Comes the jab. It is perfect. Going to pick off that Junkrat to start things off. That is probably what you want to see here. Moira all alone back here. However, Arissa is on this Soldier. She is going to go down to the BAP and the Soldier. Cassidy able to take out one. Can Cassidy take out another? He does. Only a 4-point lead now. Oh, the pin from the Rhine. I could see through the wall. Cassidy picks up another one, though. Only down 4 kills. This Cassidy could go down. He does pick... Oh, he doesn't get the Cassidy, so he just booped him. Instead, he will fall. So 3-point lead here for Rush Hour. Moira's just trying to keep herself alive against this Bab. The Bab's probably going to die here. Oh, maybe not. Yes, he will. Moira's going to go down to the pin, though. 3-point lead maintained for Rush Hour. So, ever since they got the lead, they've been holding on to it quite well, actually. Widowmaker all alone over here. She probably is going to die to this Reinhardt if she decides to take a duel with him. She will, in fact, go down. So now the 6-point lead for Rush Hour, the biggest lead we've seen from on this map. Baptiste could go down here, though. Here comes the Coalescence. It's not very big. Here comes the High Noon. 6-point difference here. Shield is going to get evaporated on this Rhine. However, he does manage to get out with his life. Soldier going to fall. Bap getting up a little bit close to this Orisa. However, both Bap and Junkrat are going to die. A 3-point lead here. Only 3 points. And that's going to be reduced to 2 as Notif Unks are finally grouping up together again. They're going to find this Cass. Oh. Okay, so a trade happens there. However, now it's just a 1-point lead. Okay. Back to 2. Okay, Ryan's probably going to pick up that Cass. Oh, he doesn't. Cass kind of outplays the Rhine there. Can they pick up this kill on the Rhine? They do. So now we are tied once again, 32-32. It's really anyone's map here. Cassidy on the side here. He's going to pick up that soldier, but he gets traded out, so it's still tied. Junkrat trying to find this Moira. Gets her very low. He does, but Orisa trades him out, so it once again is tied 34-34. Orisa fighting the Bap. Widow's helping her out here, so they will find the Bap. Ryan's going to pin in on this Orisa. He does pick off the kill right at the end of the fortified duration, which means we are still tied. Ryan very low, but he's able to find this Cass. 36-35, 37-35, 38. Rush Hour absolutely popping off here. Soldier getting very low in the backline. Cassidy could go down here. He does. And now all of a sudden, 1 kill away. All they need is to get this Orisa. Orisa does find the Bap. Widowmaker all alone here. She could get picked off by the Junkrat right here, and she will die, and that will lead to a Rush Hour map 1. That was a crazy map. Rush Hour up 1-0 in this series. That was crazy, though. I think No Diff Unks have a chance. Absolutely absurd. Of course, the 3-0 to basically guarantee yourselves that second seed is probably not possible now. You still will probably have to win the series against Logi Swords, like, no matter what now. But going tied into that one is going to be a huge difference. Okay, another deathmatch. So back-to-back deathmatch here in this matchup. Which means it's going to be a relatively quick series, although that was a beautiful map 1, Paris. That was a spectacle to witness. Back and forth from both sides, just continually winning fight after fight. Like, it was just like trading blows. 2 giants contesting each other here. Notif Unks and Rush Hour. Very exciting matchup. Alright, Widowmaker all alone out here. Comes a Moira. Moira versus Soldier. It's not exactly what you want to see if you are Notif Unks. That's not a great spawn. So Moira is going to go down. Kind of a great spawn here for Rush Hour. Okay, Cassidy will find the Bap, but I don't think that's going to be enough to fully turn this fight around. Cassidy kind of all alone here. I don't know what he's fanning the hammer into. He is going to kill that. Okay, so trade. All of a sudden, Notif Unks are in the lead here. 4-2. Cassidy getting on this Bap. He is going to fan the hammer him to death. Cassidy just putting in work. He has proven himself to be one of the top DPS in this league. In my opinion, he's so great. I don't know how he made it. Like, he dropped so far in the draft consistently, but I think he is a very solid DPS, heavily underrated. He will go down to Bap, though. I think he is better than Soldier. I think Soldier's pretty good, though. Orisa's going to fall. Ryan's going to pin in onto that Widow, going to pick up that kill. 6-6. 7-6. This is very, very close map here. Going to jab him back. The Rhine pin comes out. It's not going to find much. However, Arissa's going to fall down here, and all of a sudden Rush Hour is really taking over this one. It's just the power of this roster, especially with that Rhine. It's one of the most difficult takes to overcome in Overbots. Very strong hero. He has been with Rush Hour for 2 seasons now. They really like him over there. Big fans of the Rhine. He hasn't won any notable championships yet. But this could be his season. Son Cassidy able to deal with him though. Soldier's going to go down. So this is getting close again. 11 to 10. No Defunks trying to make this one a beauty. Bap getting very low in the back line. He will eventually fall to this Orisa. Ryan's going to pin onto that Moira. He does miss the pin, which is not ideal for him. He's going to go down to the Moira. Suck. And so now No Defunk are in the lead by 1. Cassidy going to take out his opposing number in the Soldier. Pretty much equivalents in power level. Closest thing to his power level. Oh, he was going to go down to the Rhyme pin. He does get the BAP though, so that is a trade. Up by 2 are No Defunks, but now they have to deal with this Soldier and the Junkrat without their best DPS, their best player. Actually, Orisa might be their best player. I don't know. Orisa's a pretty strong tank. Moira's going to come in here, but she's probably just going to die. The Suck doesn't do quite enough damage to get through that healing. See here. Now, Rush Hour lead by 2 again. Very, very close matchup here. Soldier. Oh, Bap fell somewhere. I don't know where he was. Soldier's going to fall too. So now it is a tie game. And here comes No Defunks. They do pin the Rat with the Jav there, but they're not going to pick up these kills. Okay, it looks like Ryan should fall here. He is going to fall, and so will the Tire and the Rat. So now it's a 2-point lead for No Defunks as the Staggers come in here, and this could very well turn around for No Defunks. As Bap trying to take that high ground, he is going to get peppered a little bit with this Orisa Fire. Soldier is getting very, very low. He is going to die. Bap trying to back out, get with the rest of his team to try and regroup and make something happen here. Ryan's going to pin in. He's going to get... His Junkrat is going to get killed behind him. Widowmaker fighting this Bap. She will win that duel. Ryan getting very low. Going to fall here. And now it is a 6-point lead for No Defunks. Cassidy going to find the Junkrat on high ground. However, the Soldier is going to find him as he steps in the trap. Soldier's going to go down to Orisa though. So, a massive lead coming up for No Defunks here. Can they capitalize on this and get this Ryan? Ryan's going to pin. It's not going to find anything, though, which is going to spell disaster for him as he is down to half health into this corner. He does get the big lamp. However, the high noon could be massive here. It gets... it didn't get anything, but it pressured them out, and they did eventually get those kills with Cass and Widowmaker working together there. And it's a 10-point lead for No Defunks. They could very well take this second map in the series. No Defunks really, really fighting for their spot in the playoffs. Them and Logie Swords, their next match is going to be very dramatic. Soldier going to go down. Widowmaker and Orisa just working like horses out here. One is a horse. The other is just a woman with no emotion. Orisa... Oh. Cassidy gets the pick. That mine is right there. Cassidy's going to fan the hammer to get rid of it. Comes the Soldier. He's on the flank here. Let's see. He's going to fight this. Cass coming in, fighting the Soldier. He does find the Soldier. As you can see, this is why I think Soldier is kind of inferior to Cass. However, the rest of the team does fall while Cass and Soldier are fighting. And it is a massive lead for No Defunks, though. Cannot be understated how big this lead is right now. 12-point difference. Gonna jab him out of the charge. Cassidy's fighting 2 on the flank here. However, neither are looking at him. He's gonna go onto this Bap, maybe. He's fanning the hammer. Oh, he does eventually... Oh, he doesn't fall. Okay, now he falls to the Bap. And the lead has been shortened to 8. Not 8. Yeah, 8. Okay. Soldier getting very low here. However, the suck's not going to be enough damage. Here comes the tire. It is going to find that Cassidy. And now it's only a 5-point lead. So Rush Hour giving themselves hope, giving themselves a chance here. They do have that shatter online. They do have the aimbot. Of course, they are aimbot bots, so I don't know why they would need aimbot. Anyways, here comes Soldier. He's going to find this Cassidy. Cassidy might win this 1v1. Let's see. Okay, it wasn't really a 1v1. Not a very fair 1v1. He did land the Helix, so I was wondering maybe he got the advantage there. Cassidy going to find the rat as he lands on top of that pillar. Only 3 kills remain for No Diff, and this is very well a... This could very well be a 1-1 series headed into map 3. Baptiste getting very low here on the flank. Cassidy going to find him with the flashbang. Only need this Rhine and 1 more kill, and No Diff will bring the series to a 1-1. Oh, can they get the Rhine? Okay, they do. So they do get it, and now it is a 1-1 match heading into map 3. Wow, I'm talking so much right now. And deathmatch going either way. Rush Hour wins the first one. Get good. Not get good. No Diff Unks, excuse me. Win the second map. And we are headed to a map 3 tied 1 apiece. This series is looking to be a banger. We're going to Junkertown. Okay. Haven't seen Junkertown in a little bit, I don't think. Going to be an odd one here because we just went from some high-octane deathmatch to some very modest escort. So escort is a lot less chaotic. Gonna see teams spawning with their teams more often. It's really gonna be curious to see who wins this one, as this could spell the rest of the series for these types of maps. Deathmatch seems like it could go either way depending on map structure and such. So this is a really curious matchup and an actually very exciting one. This one is essentially a playoff series right now, as it could be deciding the fate of No Diff Unks. We do not know. It's not really deciding the fate of Rush Hour. Rush Hour are already locked in at that 1 seed. They could lose their last 2 matches, and I believe they would still be the 1 seed. They're not going to lose against my team, though, so they are more than likely... Yeah, they are just the 1 seed. So, however, on the other side, as we know, No Diff Unks are fighting Loki Swords for that final position in the Get Good division. Only one of them can go through to the playoffs, and they are fighting tooth and nail for that opportunity. Loki Swords just 3-0'd me, and now No Diff Unks have taken a map off of the Kings. However, that fight went really heavily in favor of said Kings. Rush Hour, absolute dominant performance there. All right, we will see if the if the town continues like this, or if No Diff Unks can get something started. They do have Widowmaker. You'd think Widowmaker would be really good on this map, but unfortunately for how the bots play, they just like to play in each other's face a little bit too much. So the Widowmaker doesn't exactly play like a good Widowmaker would. She is kind of in the side room here. Let's see if she can find a pick. Okay, she's running out. She is actually way in there, but she SMGs the BAP down. So this is actually going to be a 1-team fight for No Diff Unks, as Cassidy Dark Souls rolls away from the Rhine as he tries to do a big telegraph charge on him. That was literally just like a Dark Souls boss fight right there. And that will lead to a team fight victory for No Diff Unks. Cassidy getting a little bit zealous, pushing up a little bit too far. We don't exactly want to see that if you're No Diff Unks. Michael's team is doing a great job keeping themselves in the playoff hunt here. Rissa pushing the whole team out. However, Junkrat able to find that Widow on the in turn. Cassidy fighting this BAP. He will find that BAP in the back line, but Soldier's going to find him with the Helix, as he is down a member on his squad in that fight. Orisa just fighting on this point, fighting this Junkrat. Kind of harassing the Junkrat, actually. Going to finish off that kill. It is a 1v1 on point. However, Ryan is going to be back here shortly. He might find one of these respawn members. However, Widowmaker's, or Soldier, I mean, is going to fall to the scrutiny of Orisa and Moira and Widow. And It's going to fall. Okay, so 1 minute 50 on the clock. No Diff Unks are giving themselves very good chance at winning this series. If they go up 2-0 after this one, Rush Hour find themselves in dire straits all of a sudden. This team that has been so dominant, falling to... You do not want to fall to this team. This team is a real dark horse. At first, I thought they were like a mediocre, somewhat good team, but if they are contending against Rush Hour now, I think Orisa did get buffed recently. So those Orisa buffs are really showing through in this matchup, I think. So Baptiste is on that flank. He gets down to half. He is going to fall to the scrutiny of the cast. So you do have your tank alive if you are Rush Hour here. You do have that. Oh, but Moira is going to finish off the Junkrat. She does fall to the trap, though. So now it's just a rush back to the point. Soldier's trying to get to this payload. He's going to try to begin pushing this thing. However, no Diff Unks have respawned. I think they might be able to get a contest before the payload is pushed in. A bit of an odd final fight as Moira stepped into that Junkrat trap and basically just like lost the rest of the fight like that. The Shatter finds the Moira somehow. I'm not quite sure how. Widowmaker gonna pick off one, but that's not gonna be enough. We will see Rush Hour finally get through this first point. They're gonna move on to the second point here. 2 minutes and 48 on the clock. Just barely getting through. Fighting for survival at the moment. Rush Hour, obviously, there's not too much stake in this match for them. But you gotta be a little bit worried. You almost would rather have Logi Swords make the playoffs, because you know you can beat that team. You have beat that team every time you face them. However, no Diff Unks looking like a team that can actually upset you so far. Bap getting very low. He is going to fall to the scrutiny of Cassidy. Junkrat going to find the Moira, but he's not long for this world. Ryan's going to go down after, and only Soldier is left. He's going to find that Cassidy as he backs away. Some spam. However, the respawns are a lot closer for Rush Hour, so getting that pick is pretty freaky massive. As you fade away, here comes the Rhine. He's going to pin straight into a wall. Widowmaker's a little bit on the flank here. I don't think she's going to find too many kills. She's probably just going to die for this. Bap getting very low, but she's not quite able to finish off that kill. So yeah, that will eventually be Rush Hour pushing through, as now they're going to pick up these respawns who decided to come in a little bit too early. Cassidy going to fall. Moira's probably going to die. Yeah, she's just kind of standing there. So she's probably going to die. You really want your Moira to die a little bit quicker than... Yeah, okay, that's good. You want your full team to respawn so you can at least get another contest here if you're no Diff Unks. Michael's team hanging on by a thread here on this Junkertown. They have brought them down very low in time bank. It's just a matter of cashing in on your prize. Can they touch? I don't think they are going to get this touch before the checkpoint comes through. However, Orisa's going for it. Maybe she can. Oh, she might die. Oh, the Riptire is going to put in massive work here. It backs them all off the point, and they will not get the touch. So that means now Rush Hour is on this final point, which is very strong for them. Ryan and Bap are going to fall to the Orisa plus the Cassidy ults, but you have the spawn advantage. You're on to the third point. You don't really care about losing that fight too much, because now you're going to come in with your Soldier ult, your Ryan ult, and your Bap ult almost online. It's just been a really rough circumstance here. Ryan's going to push in onto this Widow. Oh, Orisa's getting pummeled here as she gets tossed around. Ryan's getting very low. Junkrat's also very low. However, they're not able to finish either of those kills crucially. And this means that more than likely, Rush Hour will continue pushing this payload. Cassidy getting booped into a pin kill. Oh my word. So, looking very rough here. Bap going to push up a little bit far here. Moira's going to come down here, start sucking on this Soldier, but I believe she's probably just going to die. She does try to fade out, but 1 HP, she is going to fall to the Soldier eventually. A minute on the clock, and we're going to see a very quick team fight victory here for Rush Hour. Dropping no members, crucially. Should give no Diff Unks a chance to regroup here. They don't want Rush Hour to finish the map if they can prevent it. They do have them under a minute at the very least, so a very good hold on point A. is what is giving you a chance in this map. Now it is all on your squad to put something together here on this final point. A huge shatter coming out from Rhine is going to find enough kills. Widowmaker finding one, but I don't think that's going to be enough. She's going to stall out for a little bit longer here before she goes down. And maybe, just maybe, her team will decide to push out for the recontest. I don't know if they are close enough to go for it. Can Orisa touch this point? No, she will not. So that will be the full push coming out from Rush Hour. Very good Junkertown from them. Got very close on that first point. Second point, they kind of cruised through it. Third point, quite a bit of time was taken off, but still, they kept their composure and they kept pushing. Only 19 seconds on the clock, but they do get the job done. So I could very likely see a... I mean, you could see 2 full pushes here, maybe. There is a possibility this map goes into extra endings. These teams have been fighting tooth and nail for each map. No Diff Unks know their playoff hopes are on the line. They mean business today. They're trying to keep themselves alive in this playoff hunt. If they do get in, they will be facing, I believe, AI first. So they will be the team that has to go up against AI. They did just beat AI, so you got to be feeling good about that matchup as the second seed. However, if they don't win against Logie Swords this week, and Logie Swords beat them in map differential, Logie Swords will be in instead of them. So winning this matchup improves your odds of making playoffs exponentially. However, really, it's either of their games. Either one of them could make it, and it's really going to be decided on that final match. I think no matter what, even if you win this, there's a chance that if you lose to Logie Swords, you will still be out. So, very important matchup between those two. Ryan's going to pin himself off the map, which on the surface looks like it might favor Rush Hour, but killing yourself means now there's a 3v3 going to happen here with no tanks. However, a huge mine almost kills the Cassidy. He does hold on by a thread, though. Bap is going to fall to the Widowmaker and the Cass, and here comes the Orisa. This is going to be dire straits for the Rush Hour squad, as now you only have Soldier alive, and he is going to fall to the Cassidy. Poke. And the payload will begin moving here. So, Ryan getting a little bit overzealous, taking that Orisa for the long walk off a short pier, as they say. But it doesn't really favor you when you don't have spawn advantage. Okay. Well, we're going to see around this corner. This is where Rush Hour themselves got held up a little bit. Let's see if they can do the same. Cassidy getting very low from that Rhine. Does go down to half. He is able to survive, though, through a little bit of this. The poke from the Orisa and the Widowmaker coming in clutch here, as Widowmaker takes out 2. So Soldier eventually is going to find that Cass. However, Orisa is very low. She's poking out this Rhine. Soldier is now looking at her. Widowmaker behind them, though. Can Widowmaker find a pick? She does not. Oh, but Orisa finds the pick onto the Rhine. Only the Soldier alive here on this point. Widowmaker trying to 1v1 the Soldier. The SMG is a little bit of an odd decision. However, she's doing pretty good, all things considered. Orisa's going to come in to help. And the point getting ever so closer to being secured here. Going to have to wait on that Widowmaker respawn. It looks like they're going to wait on the respawn. So this will be where the first cap happens. So you do knock off about 2 minutes if you are Rush Hour. However, they are still pushing, and here comes this Widowmaker. She's going to be behind them again. See if she can get any picks from back here. She does help with the Rhine a little bit, but instead, Orisa is going to be the first to fall, and Cassidy will be next, which does mean Soldier's just absolutely popping off here, and Moira's going to go down. So, going to have to see another push from No Diff Unks here. Junkrat coming out a little bit, but he will eventually just back off. Orisa fighting this Soldier tooth and nail. She is going to push up with the Javelin Spin. Here comes a huge ult by the Orisa. It does find the Junkrat. And for the most part, the aimbot was kind of denied. The Coalescence comes through, but does it matter? It matters, as Reinhardt is going to fall to the Cole and the Cass. Cass is going to pick off the Rhine and, the Cole and the Cole. the Coalescence and the Cole Cassidy. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just put that 2 and 2 together. Okay. Here comes Rush Hour. Looks like it looks like No Diff Unks are actually having a kind of a better, dare I say, a better attack here on Junkertown so far. Against the Kings of Overbots at the moment. The number 1 seed overall. Probably the historically best team we've had. Soldier getting pretty deep in there. BAP is very low, however, Cassidy kind of got walled off by the Rhine and eventually picked off. But now we're 2 versus 2 here. Oh, Junkrat will go to, however, it's a Widowmaker versus Rhine, and that is not a matchup I want to be in if I'm Widowmaker on a point. Okay. Ryan with a random pin going into a wall back here. Ryan getting very low. He is going to fall to the scrutiny. However, Cassidy going down on the back foot. Soldier just popping off, killing 3 members of No Diff Unks. Putting his foot down here a little bit, saying, "What did you say about me being worse than Cass?" What was that? No Diff Unks, lives on the line here. They need to come in, they need to win a fight, and they need to win convincingly. However, Soldier's getting a little bit overzealous here, I think. Okay, he's going to back off. Smart play there by the Soldier, not getting too overzealous. However, Junkrat almost making the same mistake here. He might get one, though. Actually, Cassidy getting very overzealous. He does find the BAP, though. Doing a little bit of shenanigans, going in there, fanning the hammer, and backing out. Soldier's kind of stuck on the back here. And Ryan could go down because of this. Soldier being stuck behind the enemy team leads to his team falling. Only Soldier left on this point. However, respecting the Soldier a little bit too much here as they all back off. Here they go. They will eventually take out this Soldier. And now all they need to do is push this payload in, and we will be heading to this 3rd and final point. See if they can get it done. Here comes the Rhine. He's going to probably pin out onto this Cassidy. Let's see if he gets it. No, he's not. He's not being very aggressive. Never mind. Now there's the pin. Came a little bit late, but they do get the payload in. Comes the Rip Tire once again. This team fight victory is little more than just for giggles, if you know what I mean. It's just not. It's not too much of a factor. Kind of like what happened on the opposing side. You have a pretty limited time bank to work with here. They had a very good 2nd point defense. Oh, here comes the Orisa ult. It doesn't get anything. However, the Cass ult does. Ryan very low. He's probably going to fall here. He does back up with that shield, though. Smart decision. He's still very low on point. He could just fall. He's going to fall to the Cass. And there goes the Junkrat. Trap not seeming to do too much there. So, Orisa. Oh, Cassidy. Okay, he is on the right side of that wall, thankfully for him, but he does seem to be a little bit stuck. Gotta be something you're looking at if you're No Diff Unks and being a little bit concerned about what is he doing. Okay, he is going to finally join his team. Got a little bit broken there. Ryan sees him. Gonna fire strike, nothing. And that is looking like maybe a BAP feed a little bit. Yep, they do finish off the BAP, so the BAP, a little bit of a throw there. However, Widowmaker also doing the same on the other side. Widowmaker gets another one, though. And we're seeing a push, and it's looking like it's going to go all the way through here. They got 30 seconds to get it around. I think they're going to have a little bit less of a time bank, so it does mean they will be attacking second. BAP going to get knocked back here a little bit. Okay, so there is going to be one more fight. There is an opportunity here that Rush Hour could deny this. However, Bap falling first. Not what you want to see. Soldier's going to go down next. And all that's left is this Rhine and Rat. Can the Rhine and Rat get this job done? I don't think so. I do think this is going to be another map completion here. And we're going to have both sides going into extra innings here on this map. This has been a crazy game of Overbots. No Diff Unks keeping their playoff hopes alive, hopes and dreams. If they beat Rush Hour here, they will be in the playoffs as the second seed, most likely. Because I don't know. I mean, the way they're looking, they might just beat Logi Swords. The buffs for Orisa or whatever has been done. I don't know. I think Orisa got buffed or something recently. I think she did. They are coming through for this No Diff Unk squad like really well. It's working out very, very well for them. There is a chance they could steal Logi Sword's position in the playoffs and make a run, a late season run for it. A dark horse, if you will, in Overbots. They have been a team to be reckoned with here, and they are proving it here against Rush Hour. They have a very good chance of actually winning. So, okay, excuse me. Lower time attacks first. So, that does mean that No Diff Unks will be attacking first once again. Or no, they'll be attacking first this time. So for the first time, it was Rush Hour attacking first. So we're going to flip the script a little bit. Now it will be Rush Hour on defense first. They do have a 19-second advantage, which means very little in terms of overtime escort. Bap going to fall first. Junkrat's going to go down next, and that is a very good teamfight victory start for No Diff Unks. This is going to result in a bit of cart progress for them as they do push this thing away from this Rhine. I think Rhine's going to fall. Rhine is just serving to stagger himself here. But the point hasn't moved a whole lot, so I guess staggering out is not the worst thing in the world, but his death will eventually come to fruition, and this means we are going to see a bit of cart progress coming through here for No Diff Unks. Cassidy getting in deep. He is going to find that rat. And all of a sudden, oh, but the soldier does find the Cassidy in return. The fight on point, though, is heavily... Oh, no, are we not going to touch? Oh, no. Okay, we are touching. Orisa is on the point. So it does mean she's going to trigger overtime. Rhine is the only thing left alive here. They just need to stay on this cart. Widowmaker, currently the only one contesting. Going to push this Rhine a little bit further back. He is going to pin in. Does push them off the point. Can Orisa touch this thing again? She does. Here comes the Cassidy. Can Orisa touch this point, though? She's not going to touch. And that is where the payload will reside. Rush Hour giving themselves a very easy victory condition here. And you got to be concerned now. You didn't push it very far. The staggers coming in just perfectly. I could see Rush Hour pulling away with this one. No Diff Unks have really been showing us what they are capable of near the end of the season. Near the beginning, they were all right, but we hadn't seen them put on a performance against these top teams like they are showing today, like they are showing last week against AI. They are really proving themselves to be a contender in this thing. I don't know if they're going to be able to overcome Rush Hour. As you can see, it is still a very close matchup, but it almost seems like they might be able to do it, because all they have to do is stop them from getting around that corner. It is a minute and 19 seconds, so if they win one fight right here, there is a very good chance that they could win this thing. They have to win at least one fight right here and be able to respawn before they reach here. So it is a possibility. Win one fight, lose one fight, win one fight. They're going to have to win this first fight, though, I think. Or do what the other team did and have Orisa stall for like 12 years. Okay, it's because the Rhine was stalling like that. Bap is going to go down first. That's a good start for No Diff Unks. Rhine pin's going to come through. Soldier's going to go down, so the Rhine, once again, is going to be the one stalling out here. Widowmaker alive, though. Orisa's going to go get that health pack. Widowmaker dodging the fire strike. She's not going to dodge the pin, though. Orisa going to be stalling out for a little bit here, just like the Rhine did. This is what we need to see. Can she pick off this soldier? She does. She needs to stall the point, though. She can't back off the point like this. She backed off the point a little bit too long. I don't know if that is going to affect this last fight. They might not get a touch now. We'll have to see. They might not get a touch. Okay, can Orisa get back here in time? We have to find out right now. Or is this just going to be Rush Hour's victory? I think this might just be Rush Hour's victory. I don't think we're going to see a touch in time. Oh my gosh, this is stressful as frick. Here comes No Diff Unks. Can they get the touch? They're not going to get the touch. That's going to be the series. Or not the series, but the 2-0. The 2-1, I mean. Unfortunately, Orisa just getting off the point a little too early. I don't know why she didn't just stagger on the point. She should have died on cart, but no, she gets off the point, and that is ultimately going to lead to No Diff Unks losing this map and going down 2-1. Now their backs are truly against the wall here as they are going into this next map. They need to win the next two in order to take this series. Rush Hour only one map away from securing this series. And okay, this is a hybrid map, so possibly removing No Diff Unks from the playoffs. But, of course, like I said, even if No Diff Unks do lose this series, they still have one more matchup against Logie Swords. They did lose against in their last series, but they also lost against this team in their last series, and it looks so much closer than it did last time, if I remember right. So, No Diff Unks still have hope that they can be better against a team like Logie Swords. There's still a chance they make it to the circus, and if they make it to that final playoffs, they have a chance at securing the crown. There's a possibility there, as they have shown they can contend with teams like AI. They can contend with teams like Rush Hour. I believe when we see Logie Swords versus them, they will be able to contend with that team as well. And that team, that is going to be basically our first playoff series, as it is going to decide who is going into the playoffs and who is staying home. The other side of the bracket is pretty much already determined. It will be AI and it will be Moldy Milkers for sure. However, on this side, it is either Logie Swords or No Diff Unks. It's still yet to be seen which of these two teams will be going to the playoffs. If No Diff Unks can get something started here on Blizz World, we will see one more map after this. Rhine getting absolutely farmed. This is very similar to what happened to my Winston. However, wow, they almost win that regardless, but they're still going to fall here. Widowmaker getting the last laugh on that soldier. Going to keep her team up and awake in this one. Eventually, I believe both teams should be back for the next fight. So even though you do trade out 3, you still manage to lose the fight. Widowmaker taking off heads as per normal. Just proving that while she is a weird DPS, she is somewhat useful at times, even in the bot leagues. Here comes the Rhyme Pin. He does get jabbed out of it, so he's not able to find too much value with that. Bap getting ahead of his Rhine a little bit is going to result in him losing his life. Soldier also going to get killed here. Orisa working on that Rhine, going to find him. And Junkrat going to go down to the Orisa presence. Here we go, another fight coming. Already knocked 2 minutes off the board with 2 fight wins for No Diff Unks. They have a chance to keep themselves in the series. If they full hold here, I could very well see them winning. Ryan getting a little bit deep here. He is going to find the... Okay, so this is a good push here from Rush Hour. Ryan's pin comes in massive, puts a lot of damage in, takes a lot of the aggro away, and his team just cleans up the mess. So that will be the first point take for Rush Hour. They finally get it. It takes them 2 minutes. So 4 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock here to get through this second point. Pretty solid defense coming through from No Diff Unks to start this one. They are down 2-1 in this series. Their backs are against the wall. The chances of making the playoffs are dwindling with each map loss. Map differential going to come in hugely. Oh my gosh, what a ult. Cassidy also ulting here. We'll only find the soldier. You know, the rat's going to go down too. Cassidy very low in the back line. Could get picked off. He does get picked off by the BAP. Widowmaker's probably going to die here soon, as Bap is frying at the moment. This does mean Orisa is going to have to back off here if she wants to keep her team in this one. We will have to Shroon. Gonna push in a little bit. She is gonna stagger herself out here. It's not an ideal decision from Orisa, but a decision made nonetheless. Sometimes, as the tank, if you're the last one alive, you have to make some rough decisions. Cassidy getting very low, probably. Nope, he is gonna. Yeah, he's gonna die. But Ryan sends himself off the map. That's not exactly the greatest decision. However, this rat tire is gonna find the Widow. So even though Ryan kind of throws a little bit, I think it'll be fine, because we might see them push it in regardless. Soon find out. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna push it in regardless. So even though Ryan does throw a little bit, Rush Hour will find the cap here. No Diff Unks a little bit late to the party. Might find a team fight victory here. We'll have to see. Widowmaker's going to find that Bap. Junkrat is going to go down. Soldier getting very low. Probably going to die. He does. However, Ryan's still up, swinging, and kills both Orisa and... Oh my word. Ryan's going to solo this. He does. 4 minutes on the clock here to get it through this final point. And what was looking like a great defense at first is now starting to come down in waves, as good old Rush Hour is putting in work to secure this series. They would be winning 2-1 if they win this map, or 3-1 I mean, excuse me. Orisa going to go behind the window here. They're going to try to get the soldier, although the window, or the lamp comes out. Huge flanking shatter from the Rhine is going to find 2. And that's going to be the fight victory here, as Soldier pops the visor for no reason. And this is more than likely a very quick push. So what was looking like a 2-minute hold, it was starting out good. They won 2 fights on defense. They haven't won a fight since, though. It's literally been like all... it's been all Rush Hour since then. Okay. Horse going to come in here. She does hit a massive ult. Going to find the Bap only, though, and her... Cassidy's going to get the soldier. So a 2-for-2 trade. Cassidy going to survive the pin. Doesn't get quite hit by it. So he's going to find the Junkrat. And that is going to lead to a finally a fight win for No Diff Unks. So Ryan is going to pin in here, but it's just going to result in probably his death. Yep. Okay. So they finally get a fight win after failing to for the last point. Rush Hour putting their best foot forward in this series. Trying to maybe eliminate a team from playoff contention before they even have the chance. Cassidy going to get pinned into a wall. Going to go down. He is swinging on this Widowmaker. Widowmaker actually dodges the pin, so keeps herself alive. Bap's going to be one to fall. So trades here are not exactly what you want to do while No Diff Unk have the spawn advantage. That is going to probably result just in a little bit of stall for the Rhine there. He's going to fall. And another teamfight victory for No Diff Unks. And if they can get them to overtime, you got to feel good about your chances of winning this one. Soldier wrapping around. Oop, here comes the Rhine. He's going to push on through. Blizzworld is looking exciting and close. Here comes the wall hacks. Don't know if they really need them. I don't know if Widowmaker actually uses them. I don't know if they already have them or not. Baptiste's getting very low. However, here comes the Riptire, and it explodes right in front of him, so it actually is going to get no value. Don't know why he did that. Bap is going to be the first to fall to the Widowmaker. And Moira is getting very low, but she's going to be able to survive, actually. She will eventually fall, but that is little more than a last-minute, last-ditch effort from Rush Hour as they try to escape. Ryan is going to be very low, though, and he is going to fall down here. So if you do manage to win this, you are probably looking at an overtime finish. If you are Rush Hour, which means No Diff Unks, all they have to do is finish with this map themselves with over a minute. If you don't finish, though, all No Diff Unks have to do is push where you failed. So looking highly winnable for No Diff Unks. They could come back into the series still. Ryan's going to pin himself off the map. Oh, he does get the cat. Wait, what? Okay, I don't know what I just witnessed, but it serves to be a trade as Widowmaker finds 2. Okay, Widow. Go off, Queen. Orisa gonna die here to the Rhine, so it's gonna be Widow versus Rhine. 10 seconds on the clock. Can Rhine even touch this point? He's got 5 seconds to get over there. Is he gonna look for it? 3, 2, 1. He is not. He is gonna find it. Barely. Oh my word. Okay. So he does get the touch. This could very well be a overtime finish for Rush Hour, as they do get some touches going here. Just get it into overtime. Widowmaker fighting for her life out here, but oh, can we see a C9? We do see a C9. So, unfortunately for Rush Hour, even though you win those final fights, no one touches the point with all 4 members alive. And that does mean all the Orisa team has to do is now push to where you failed, and they will make this series tied 2-2. So let's see. It's not here. It's going to be like up here. Is it up here? I believe the box of victory is going to be like right here. I think that's the farthest they pushed. We'll wait for the 15 seconds to go away to determine if that is indeed the case, but I believe it should be right up here. Don't remember how close they got to the end, but I think it was right here. Okay, no, it was a little bit farther back. Okay, so right here. So right here is where it ended, but this is the farthest they made it. So all you have to do is make it to this corner on the final point, and you will secure yourself a tie game headed into a map 5 between these two hotly contested teams. Really anyone's match. If Rush Hour win this, they could almost be eliminating a team from playoffs if Logi Swords secure a victory against them. However, if oh my word, if No Diff Unks secure this series, they will make it a little bit harder to be eliminated by Logi Swords. Logi Swords will have to beat them in a more dominant fashion, because then they'll be tied in record. It'll have to be on map differential, and we'll have to look at the map differential odds after this series if No Diff Unks do come away with it. If No Diff Unks don't come away with it, it doesn't matter. Whoever wins the next one is going to win. Between the two of them. Okay. But winning this does just give you a little bit of an advantage in going into that final matchup. Here goes No Diff Unks, Cassidy, and Widowmaker putting on a show. Widowmaker especially getting 3 kills in that fight. It's going to secure point A for them on the first take, and that is a very strong showing. Very different than what we saw from Rush Hour. Rush Hour kind of got a little bit held up on point A, but they take it immediately here, and this is going to look rough to start. So, Ryan's going to come back in here. He's going to miss his pin. He's going to go really wide. He could be punished for this harshly. He's going to get a little bit pushed away from his team. Bap, however, is going to go down to Widowmaker. Trade, though, for Moira. However, Bap and Cassidy kind of on the flank here. They're going to find that Soldier and the Rat, and this is going to be a teamfight victory again, coming in for No Diff Unks in Rush Hour. You got to be a little bit concerned here. Don't want to let this team into the playoffs now, because you realize that this team can and will beat you. They have the chance to do it. Both of you can trade maps off each other, and right here on Blizzard World, they are looking stronger. They are looking like the stronger team. No Diff Unks really pushing Rush Hour to the limit here. Going around this corner. Reinhardt is looking to go for another pin here. If he gets his pin, they will likely win the fight. If he doesn't, though... Oh, actually, never mind. They win the fight regardless because Junkrat finds a huge pick on that Widowmaker. So Orisa is going to fall eventually here, I believe. Hopefully Moira doesn't stagger out too long or at all, if possible. I think she is going to stagger out, though. They do find her on the flank. However, they ignore her for the time being. Can she run away? Looks like she's going to go in instead, and this is not exactly what you want to see. Maybe she can fade to keep herself alive a little longer. Okay, she is. Even though she's staggering enough that her team is coming back into this fight, so her team will invest. And they are going to find this Junkrat, I think. Maybe not. He does find the Junkrat, so some trades coming through here. Cassidy able to find 2. Soldier and Rhine versus Cassidy and Orisa. Here comes the pin. It gets stopped a little short. Looks like we're backing off a little bit from the Orisa and Cass. Gonna re-engage here on the soldier. Can they pick him off? They will. Oh, they're gonna get two. Never mind, they don't get the Rhine. Okay, ow, now they will. Now they will. Okay. So, here comes No Diff Unks. They are making Rush Hour absolutely work for this win. They are down 2-1, but there is a chance that they can push this thing to the end and secure a 2-2. However, there's some ults online. Can they just push this payload in before these ults get popped? They will. So that is a very good look for No Diff Unks. Here comes the Shatter, but they've already had the point. Investment of ults are a little bit overzealous here. As per usual, we see a lot of this in overbots where they contest after the point has already been taken. But now you have point control. The BAP window is not going to mean too much, especially if they use it right away in this fight. 4 minutes and 11 on the clock simply to get it around to this corner to secure the victory on this map and a chance at a map 5 against Rush Hour. Junkrat getting very low. He is going to fall. Orisa's very, very low on the other side, though. So, Orisa going to die here, and the BAP window already used means that there are no ults online for Rush Hour now. And the Junkrat is so far away, he will not... Well, maybe he will be here for the fight. We'll see. I believe they're going to come out quick enough that he shouldn't really be a factor. Oh, never mind. He is right there. Okay. So, he's going to... Cassidy's going to fall to the pincer fire of Soldier and BAP. And they're going to get pressured out here. So, actually, this little spawn camp is working out quite well for Rush Hour. Better than I anticipated. Ryan's going to pin back, however. Orisa going to fall. And, uh-oh. Got to be a little bit concerned here if you're No Diff Unks now, because you were doing so well on this attack thus far, and then you got to this point, and you just are getting spawn camp now. Okay. Here comes the Coalescence. See if this can do anything. Soldier's getting pretty low. The tire is pretty massive. BAP is going to fall. However, you only got Moira and Orisa alive, which Moira is not exactly the greatest piece on this team, which means this spawn hold will continue in only 2 minutes on the clock, and suddenly Rush Hour have a very good chance of actually just like turning this around and completely winning, which is crazy to me because I don't think we've ever seen something like this turn this spectacular. Oh my word, English. Okay, spectacular. Huh? Cassidy picking off 2 there. Maybe he can get himself out of the spawn camp finally, but oh boy, here comes the Rhine pin. Rhine is like so far away now. Junkrat's gonna go down. Maybe they can finally get this Rhine out of here. 2 minutes on the clock. A lot of time wasted. And they still have to push here, so Rush Hour giving them an opportunity to win this map despite struggling so heavily against this squad in the first 2 points. They do now give themselves an opportunity on this final point to win, and they have the Shatter. They have the window. They have a really good chance at winning this next fight. The Shatter is going to get the Cass. They are going to finish him off. Few ults coming through. You just don't want to waste any ults if you are on the side of No Diff Unks, because now everything has been popped, and they went from all their ults to none of them. Well, except for the tire. They didn't use the tire, but they didn't have it. So that will finally be that. And oh no, No Diff Unks. Looks like they are trying to re-engage here. I don't know if this is a great idea, especially because you're down 1. And you had an opportunity to regroup for another fight, but instead now you're pushing in and you're going to lose more members. You are just staggering at this point. If Cassidy could get out with his life, that would be most opportune, but I don't think he is. I think he's going to die here. Actually, wait. He's on the soldier. He is going to die, so few mistakes are being made here by No Diff Unks. They are staggering quite a bit here, and this could result in them losing. Baptiste's going to go down, but I don't think it matters too much, as only 19 seconds are on the clock, and Widowmaker getting one. Here comes the Riptire. Is going to find this Moira. Only 10 seconds on the clock here, and it's looking like Rush Hour are just going to 3... Oh, Cassidy on the point. Oh, he didn't touch, though. He did touch. Giving himself an opportunity here. Can we see a Narissa touch? We do. Unfortunately, though, there's just not enough staying power here for No Diff Unks, and that is going to be a 3-1 coming through for Rush Hour in a most unexpected display, especially after those first 2 points. I really thought No Diff Unks were going to come away with this one, but nope. Rush Hour put their foot down, say, we are number one. Dun, 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 dun.